Well, since I'm sitting here, I figured maybe I should just make a video with my phone. No need to set up GoPro cameras and audio equipment and all of that. I can simply just do this on the phone. So, I'm at the Indiana Convention Center, and you're wondering, okay, well, what's he doing? Well, right now, I'm back here playing a little bit of Company of Heroes. The Americans, of course. Sometimes I play the Wehrmacht and the Panzer Elite. I never play the British. I just can't relate. But I'm not doing that right now. Right now, I've got a problem. Right now, the problem is brake chamber went out. I'm at the Indiana Convention Center where they had a firefighters trade show, and I'm here tasked with picking up a load from here to Dallas, $3,500, delivering a day in a few hours. Should have been an easy ride. I would have rode all the way to Memphis or Little Rock, slept, woke up, and finished the rest of my trip and been in Dallas Monday evening. But no, that didn't happen. Instead, when I was backing up to the dock, I see that the dock didn't have those little doohickeys that hold the back up when they have forklifts come on, and it keeps your trailer from rocking. And because I care about my truck, I went ahead and slid my tandems to the rear. When I did that, that happened and all was well. But then I heard a large leak. That's the stuff that's going on my truck. I heard a large leak coming from one of the release valves. And, well, about maybe 10 feet from the dock, my brake chamber seized up. Now, there was no indication that it was going to seize up. There was no leaking air. I wasn't losing air pressure before. You know, it wasn't constantly airing up, the compressor constantly running. Not enough for me to notice anyway. Not every couple minutes or anything. But sure enough, you see it down there. Just got the truck greased and their oil changed. So I just had a PM. This thing here, it's got 4 holes. You can probably see better on that one. Those little outlet holes. Air was just blowing out of all 4 on this one. This was actually plugged in. And then a couple of the guys came over and they was like, hey, what's wrong? And I'm like, got an air leak on the brake chamber. And so they were like, hey, why don't you just cage the brake chamber? I'm like, what's cage the brake chamber? And they were like, yeah, you're not supposed to do it and all that, but you can do it to get to where you need to go. And I'm like, man, let's do it. And so they showed me. But funny thing about my brake chamber is it also, the mechanism where you stick the bolt in and you're supposed to twist, and then you stick the nut on the outside of that bolt, tighten it down, and then, you know, pull it. It extracts the diaphragm and, you know, cages the brake chamber. Well, it's bent inside, so you can't even stick the damn bolt key inside of it because the inside of it is bent. And I mean, that's like a mechanical failure. I mean, obviously the whole thing is a mechanical failure, but it's like, I mean, shit, even the guy who helped me figure out what cage in the chamber was, he got down under there and he was like, oh man, you can't do yours. That sucks, man. The inside of it is bent. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? He was like, man, they just go out. He was like, it's best to just change them. Whenever you change your brakes, change all of your brake chambers. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, that's what I do with mine. Every time I get the brakes changed, like once every 2 years, I just have them change all the brake chambers too. That way, the brake wear is even, and I know that they're all solid, and I won't have any issues. It's like it's about $1,500. I'm like, man. He was like, yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it to spend the $1,500 than it is to have road service come out and spend about half that on just one of them. And sure enough, I've got road service coming out, $320 minimum just to show up. Then I also have to pay for the part. So it's a $100 call out and a $100 an hour, 2 hour minimum. And I'm really hoping he doesn't take more than 2 hours. You know, and then the part price. So it's like, man, there was logic in what he was saying. And then I'm kind of blocking people. I'm not really in the way, but kind of in the way. So I done sat up here since 8 this morning. It's now 11:47. It's Sunday, so I've called everyone you can think of calling. I've called, and a lot of people who say that they're 24/7 really aren't, because a lot of those numbers just rang and rang and rang with no one to answer. A lot of voice messages. It was really demoralizing for them to claim that they were open and that they actually weren't. And so out of the long list of everyone on the website, I only got in contact with 3. One was bullshitting. The other didn't even ask for my address, so I know that's not going to happen. And then the third one had me take pictures to see if it was a short stroke or long stroke brake chamber, and told me to go ahead and send those pictures. I sent those. He called me back and was like, I'll send somebody out there. And so every time you do that, it's 90 minutes, you know, an hour, 2 hour wait for them to get somebody out there. And even though I'm in the middle of the city, it always takes 2 hours. So hopefully this third person can go ahead and get this truck squared away. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of fire department stuff. I don't know what that is, some sort of mobile spray machine for the fire department. It's pretty cool. But it looks like it's for hazmat too. But yeah, man, the guy who was coming out here, whose load this was checking on me. He didn't quit coming out here. You know, there was a lot of temporary people, you know, working here, a lot of temporary staff. Some of them you can see are going home, leaving. I don't want to be here all day, and I don't want to miss this load because I've got a connecting load from Dallas going to Houston for 1,000, and so I got the potential to gross 4,500 in the next 2 days, 3 days tops, and I would like to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a brake chamber to ruin that. But that's my video. I just wanted to give you an update, let you know that hard times come for us all. All you can do is be prepared.